Hey there, hi, and howdy, everybody. It's your boy, JRG. We're getting it started. Extra energy this morning. Not sponsored by whatever drink this is or whatever drink that is, but we're here with another episode of the Geekdom Underground podcast. We have some legends, some legends. So I would like to introduce. Well, actually, let's just address the elephant in the room, or actually
Let's do that.
not in the room. Wow. So we're doing it different this morning. My co-host, Mr. Philip Hernandez, is not here today. He had a prior engagement. There was a conflict in schedules, so your boy's going solo today. Whoa.
Let's go.
So we'll see how it goes. But first of all, we got these legends here. Introduce yourselves, please.
So my name's Taylor Henry. I'm one of the founders of StackIQ.
And I'm Gabe, and we are
StackIQ.
Hey.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
I swear.
Bright and early.
Cool. Say something for me real quick.
hello.
Hey, there you go. Cool. I think I had you turned all the way down. See, that's what happens when I'm not going to get into it.
Thanks, Philip.
Thanks, Philip. How y'all feeling this morning?
Good,
Really good,
energized
man.
thanks to Duncan's iced cold brew.
Oh my gosh, this guy.
Dang. We need to get that check in the mail. Hopefully,
I
we'll
know,
see.
right, Duncan? Come on.
No, man, but good energy, good vibes, and get hosted by you, man. And
know.
I'm ready to go, man.
Hey.
Ready to get this
Right?
thing going.
Damn, we
first.
should have got Becky in here.
Oh, Becky.
man.
Oh my goodness.
It's me. Well, thanks for joining us. So you guys have been featured before, but y'all were on the Coffee Club. It wasn't even a podcast. I think it was the first time we attempted to do this. Look how far we've come.
I know,
Making
but we didn't
strides.
have any coffee at the coffee club.
Yikes.
I know. I was scared to bring in the coffee.
Hey, you know what? I'm glad you did. Where's your coffee,
Yeah.
Taylor?
I don't have any. I'm not a coffee guy. I'm a tea guy.
He does
Hey,
like
okay.
this new one that I got. It's called Mud Water. Um,
I don't like that. I
Oh.
despise
it's
it.
pretty bad.
Why?
I'm a Bang guy though.
A
I really
bean.
enjoy bangs. a lot.
Bang. Oh, they said
Yeah.
bean.
Oh,
It's like
bang.
beans. Yeah, beans are good. Yeah. Just in the morning, a cup of beans, or I guess
mean,
technically coffee beans.
Pinto,
Coffee-
black
yeah,
beans,
the coffee beans are the best
refried.
kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so you guys were gone for a little while.
Yes.
And it seems like it was perfectly timed because you were exiting out of the pre-accelerator program.
Yeah.
So did y'all need to take time, or actually where were y'all? Tell me about that.
Yeah, we were in Cozumel, Mexico. If you guys get a chance, y'all have to go. It's amazing. But we actually didn't plan it that way. We had planned Cozumel probably 2 or 3 weeks before we found out we got into the accelerator program. So we were, and it was like a non-refundable kind of situation. And we were like just praying that the accelerator program was gonna end before that, because
Mhm.
it would have been such a hard choice, but it all worked out so well.
Yeah, right. It seems it worked out perfectly, actually.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
about your thoughts?
It was a lot of the same. We finished this accelerator program, and I think that we both just felt like we accomplished a lot. We were so much further than we had expected to be within the few months that we've been at Geekdom. And that Cozumel trip was kind of like just a sealant for us. It was just really, really cool to be able to, have a little bit of a break, but also feel the accomplishments and
Mhm.
like just gratefulness that we had
I
of
think
those
we were
previous 6 weeks.
Yeah, we were able to really reflect on it. Actually,
Mhm.
we talked a lot about just like our time there and
Mhm.
everything that we learned and everything that we're excited about. The hardest thing is like getting back into the rhythm
Yeah.
of things after a vacation, and one that was like both relaxing but also very like you just did a lot of stuff. Like we did
Sure.
a lot of excursions,
Mhm.
and we had a lot of time to rest. So like we're trying to find that thing to get us like back in that same rhythm as we were before.
I will say what was really funny, we thought of all you guys. We actually have videos. Probably none of our
Whoa.
best moments, but we were actually in the ocean on a catamaran, and both of us were, we had maybe a margarita or two. And
I love
we
it.
were like taking videos and like, John, this, Taylor, we're here. Cause like Becky, everybody, and
Oh,
yeah, it was
and then
fun.
we didn't send them just because we didn't know how we looked. And like we were, so y'all had this like really good image of us leaving after the accelerator program, like, oh, these guys are professional and they did some really cool stuff
Yep.
with us. And then like you get a video of just like, hi, we're in Mexico.
work hard, play hard,
Yeah.
So, I mean, I want to see those videos.
Yeah. Well, we got him. He's
Oh,
got him.
I'll send it to you. It
bring,
was a
bring them
very-
up on the screen.
I'm
just kidding. One
not
day.
right now.
Hey, yeah, airdrop. Well, that's cool. I feel
Yeah.
like, so y'all travel regularly. Y'all
Yes.
have a group of like, a co-founder, but also like a friend group that
Yeah.
y'all go travel with. Do you think that that's a big part of what allows you to work so hard? The reason I say that is because when I think StackIQ, I think in the office until 8 p.m., like y'all guys are killing it. I mean, you guys are working a lot. Is it like, do y'all take these trips and vacations to be able to do that? Does that play a part?
I definitely think so. And what's really cool, I mean, everybody has your own friend groups and you invite people into your circle and, you got to figure out what meshes well and what doesn't mesh well. Right. And a lot of these trips that we take, like Carlos with Idiomasters, he's one of the Geekdom members here. A lot of the people, a lot of the people that we have, everybody's super smart and has like really, really good ideas. And when we go and travel, it is a break but not that kind of thing. But we also kind of like just spitball ideas together and like how, we can complement Carlos's company, how he can complement ours, like all the problems that everybody has and how we can piece together solutions. That's what's really, really cool about the group that we have when we go and do those things.
Yeah, travel is like one of the biggest things that I want to do. I just want to be able to travel as much as I can. And so like we've made a pact that we're going to be doing at least a winter trip and a summer trip each year. So
That's cool.
we're going to be going to Arkansas this year.
Whoa, why?
Hot Springs.
Hot Springs.
I'm telling you, dude, it's cool.
I know that's always the question right after I say we're going to go to Arkansas. Why?
That's cool though.
It's beautiful. It's amazing. The hot springs are crazy. It's just like a great time to be there in the winter. So,
do you think that's something that's unique to entrepreneurs or people like in the startup space that traveling is a necessity or something that helps? Or do you think like, would you recommend that to like students or everybody? Or
I definitely say so because you kind of you can get in a rhythm in one place and you get really comfortable. And I've found personally that when I get out of that space for just a little bit of time and kind of do a little bit of exploration and see new things and have new experiences, it opens your eyes up to a whole lot more things going on than what is just over here. And that I would highly recommend. I mean, 2-hour road trip, an hour road trip, just go somewhere else and see what's going on in that area and see what people are doing and what people are working on and the vibes and that kind of thing. And you get to bring some of that back with you.
Sure.
Everyone's doing different things in different places, and I think it is pretty cool to be able to explore and open your eyes and your brain a little bit.
100%, absolutely.
Yeah. When did y'all start? Like, just like when did you form this pact that like you would go in the summer and in the winter? Is that a recent thing?
Yeah, I think it happened last year's when we started it. We were just wanting to make sure all of us would mesh well, because if you travel with friends, there's only two outcomes that are going to come. You guys are going to hate each other at the end of it, or you're going to love each other even more. And so we did it very small, and it was just him and his girlfriend, Brittany, shout out,
Brittany.
Shout out.
And me and Marco, which is my roommate and best friend, our friend. And so we all went together and we meshed extremely well. I mean, it was insane.
Yeah.
If you haven't had Taylor's food, he cooks amazing. Like there's just like there's
I doubt
no.
Right.
He is amazing at cooking. And so like he would always cook in the mornings, and like there's a feast in the mornings. And so it's just crazy how like all of us meshed so well. So it was like, okay, that was 4 of us. So this time around, we were like, okay, let's like expand it now. Let's see how many more people we can bring in before we all like break.
Yeah.
And none of us broke. So
That's
we're
awesome.
like, so the next time we're going to expand it even more, John.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds awesome. So I want to talk a little bit about you cooking. Is that more so for the love and passion of like the culinary arts, or do you just like, are you that person that also likes to take care of the group?
I think it's taking care of the group. Like I feel like I'm a natural host, so I love to just like put my head down into the kitchen and just start cooking. Like, I don't do birthday gifts. Like, I'm not like a big birthday gift guy. I like to like make something. So like for my parents, my family, I'll do this massive feast, whether it's barbecue or I mean, what it doesn't matter what it is, but I just love to cook. It's just like a passion I have. And my girlfriend Brittany, she's an outstanding cook too, and she was one of the ones that like got me into like really cooking. And then we did like Master Chef and Hell's Kitchen, so I started trying different recipes, and then I kind of just snowballed into the thing.
That's awesome.
You guys need to try his fried bean and cheese and bacon tacos.
Get out of town.
They're pretty fire. Oh my God.
So he'll be
Sounds
bringing
great.
it. He'll be bringing it next Friday. Everyone.
Heyo.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
They're pretty good.
But for real, if he wants to.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. So just to throw it back to our boy Philip, he's a pit master.
Yeah,
I know.
Some would say Texas pit master. Shout out IG. Texas _ No, so we've actually played with the idea of doing something where like everyone can bring like a potluck, I guess, with the Geekdom members.
that would be the best idea ever. I
Yeah.
would love that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think that would be something that y'all would be open to like collaborating on?
100%.
And if we put it together, do you think other people?
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
food brings everyone together.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, it's like you can be angry and then all of a sudden, like, let's go get food. And then that's how mine and my siblings would always like resolve our fight. We would get into this huge heated argument. And then 5 minutes later, hey, you want to get food? And we're just like completely squashed. It's done. And food just brings people together.
For sure. I love that. Well, we got someone in the chat, someone special. Shout out Becky.
It's me.
Becky.
Hey, how am I doing?
It's me.
There you go. Cool. She says, tell the Mudwater story. LOL.
Oh my God. Becky, why?
I mean, you don't have to. I don't.
It's so embarrassing. So it was like my first time I got it and I opened it and I was so happy about it because like long story about it. But I finally got it and I opened it up and I saw Becky in the kitchen and I was like, oh my gosh, Becky, you want to see me like try it for the first time? Like you can try it. So it comes with this like frother thing that you like turn on and then it like spins everything around. And stupid Gabriel decided, let's like do all of this right in front of all of like the sugar packets and the coffee creamers and all of that. And as soon as I put the frother in, whoosh, it goes everywhere. It splatters all over the wall, all over the coffee machine, on all of the sugars. Becky had just filled all of the sugar and coffee creamers up. And so like my heart's racing because I don't want her to hate me. And I'm like, I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
And then I tried it and I realized that it was horrible.
Oh God.
And then she tried it and she confirmed.
Who would
that
have
it
figured
was.
with a name like Mudwater that it wouldn't taste good?
It has its purpose.
Yeah.
It has like different kinds of mushrooms in it, and then like
Wow.
cacao, turmeric, all of this like stuff that really does live up to the name Mud.
Yeah. Becky says it's okay. Like either she's saying that
sweet.
Mudwater is okay, or that it was okay that you messed up all the sweeteners.
I hope both at least.
So let's talk a little bit about StackIQ. I'm not gonna lie. When I pictured you all in Mexico, which I did because we missed y'all, like when you would go up to like the hotel or something to check in and be like, I'm Gabe, I'm Taylor, and we are StackIQ. Did y'all look? I'm just gonna ask. Goofy question. Did y'all pitch at all while you're on vacation?
Yes.
Hey.
Yes. Yeah. You remember? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think
yeah.
we both did.
I do remember. Gosh.
Yeah. He barely remembers. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I was in one of the infinity pools. And I was okay. So when we have a couple drinks, you're in Mexico having a great time, confidence through the roof, and you can literally hop into any question and just go with the flow, which is kind of what I did. There was a group of, three, two guys and a woman, and they were talking about stocks and all kinds of stuff. And, I had a pina colada and a margarita, and, walk in and, we had a conversation. Then I pitched StackIQ. And then, Gabe came over and introduced him, and we were just talking about it. And, they were just like, look, I've got, kids in high school. I've got, graduated, college, kids. And they were just kind of saying how, I mean, if they had that kind of resource at that age, there's a lot of mistakes that would have been avoided, and a lot of like financial issues that would have been avoided as well. So it was an awesome conversation. It was really, really cool. And especially, I think they were from like Indiana or something like that. And he had actually worked for a firm, an investment firm a long time ago. I got his contact, and he was
Hey.
a man. If I had met you guys like 4 years ago, checkbook. And I was like,
Dang,
shoot,
that's validating.
yeah,
Huh?
it was cool, man. It was really cool. But yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. So, I mean, I'm sure after the pre-accelerator, y'all were like, you could do it in your sleep, right? I mean, y'all were pitching often, regularly, constantly, like improving and changing things. So, yeah, I mean, I just kind of figured that you were still doing that. But also, if you weren't, it's vacation time. But I mean, y'all guys are entrepreneurs, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, always selling.
Oh, always.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's very cool.
We tried it again. We tried our pitch again, and we got for the most part, it was pretty good. Like it's like we never went on vacation.
Yeah.
That was fun.
So how do y'all feel now outside of the program? You got some rest, or you're getting back into that groove of things, you know, which it takes a couple of weeks sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Like, let me get back into grind mode, into work mode. How are y'all feeling with StackIQ? Where are y'all at now? I'd like to hear from you first, Gabe.
Oh, it's great. We finally got formed. And so
Hey,
thanks to David Jones.
Thank you, David.
shout out.
All right.
Yes.
We finally got formed, and so now we're getting ready to start applying for the community fund and Tech Fuel and Techstars, and we just like have all of these ideas that we talked about, and we
Mhm.
said, okay, well, these are our priorities. We need to start working on all of these.
Yeah.
And that's all we're focusing on right now, is really trying to figure out where our next steps are, whether it's to go and kind of build it with the community fund only, or if we do want to go the route of an accelerator program. So
Sure.
Yeah.
What about you, Taylor? How do you feel?
Yeah, very similar. I think our first day was, trying to like recuperate.
Yeah.
And but this week, Gabe's so awesome at about like really being able to like write down, prioritize, like, okay, let's really, really focus. Don't look at the 90 days or 120 days. Let's look at next week, and let's write down specifically what needs to get done. And yeah, we got together and put those things together, and I think we got a really great game plan. Yeah, finishing out the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's cool. So you're looking at the Techstars Accelerator in Austin.
yes, we're going to be meeting with Griffin next week to
Oh,
learn
very
a
cool.
little bit more, because I got to meet with him when he came to Geekdom. It was virtual though, because I met with him when he went back, but he didn't get to meet Taylor, and I really wanted Taylor to meet Griffin and Griffin to meet Taylor,
Mhm.
so that they get to meet each other, and then he gets to see kind of our relationship and how we work with each other and kind of bounce ideas off of each other. So
Sure.
that'll be next week.
That's awesome. That's exciting.
Yeah.
So let's say we'll throw a hypothetical, just like so we can engage in some fun conversation around it. Let's say you got a check for $1 million, right? Like, what would be one of the first things y'all would want to do with StackIQ? Is there anything that you guys have like your sights set on, if you're comfortable sharing, of course?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing would be trying to like start getting the marketing down correctly.
Mhm.
Trying to get our company right in front of the right people, as well as starting to hire on our people, the
Yeah.
people that are going to be helping like on the ground, like community managers, program managers, social media managers, all of these people that are going to kind of help form the company. I think one of the biggest things is just making sure that we have a product that is quality,
Mhm.
and not quantity. What I mean by that is like we want our product to be so nice and seamless, and we want to make sure that the user's having a good experience and not gonna download StackIQ and then hate it because of the user experience and then trash it later, like, or throw it away or never come back to it.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that our platform is good and ready for like production to like go out.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, I mean, kind of piggybacking on it, I think one of the one thing, or so a couple of things that we're building out, is the team that we want to bring on board. That's gonna be huge, and super important to us, because we are gonna be so community oriented, and we're gonna be dealing with students and parents, and he's got this amazing idea for Pitch Fest, and we're trying to really kind of take a look at what that's going to look like, but really kind of figuring out what's missing in the team now, and what the people that we can talk to that will become assets, for the vision, the long-term vision that we have for StackIQ.
Yeah, that's awesome stuff. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see a whole floor taken up by StackIQ.
Yes.
Yep.
I know. We're so excited. 5th floor.
Hey, have y'all found anyone within the Geekdom community network of members that that you've like considered working with, or is there anyone that you're talking to, if you're able to share? I'm saying that because like I want to know all the things, but of course this is like a podcast live. If you don't feel comfortable sharing, say John, shut up. You're more than welcome.
No, for sure,
No.
absolutely, yeah. Brandon Howard, for sure.
Brandon Howard's
He's been
smart.
close with us. He's super smart on the tech side. And I'll let you talk about Angela.
Oh, Angela. Oh my goodness. I think she was through the Students and Startups program. Shout out to her because she won a Mellowbee and Rosella Coffee, I think.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Recently. So
Yeah.
congrats, Angela.
Yeah, shout out.
But we really just like her whole energy is perfect as like a community manager, a person who's just able to build community, bridge communities, and kind of maintain it. And then also, of course, we don't want to forget Austin.
Hey.
Austin is amazing.
He's so awesome.
Oh gosh, like he'll come into our office and he's like, I just have a quick question, and then I feel bad because then that quick question that he was there like turns into like an hour conversation, and I feel bad because like I keep asking him questions, and then he like has these really good answers, and then we just start bouncing ideas off of each other, and then working on like trying to figure out what a course would look like. It's amazing. So shout out to Austin.
Yeah, that's Austin Moncada, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, he's the graphic artist that did the mural on the 7th floor near the printer, near Legends Alley.
Oh, that's what it's called.
That's what I call it.
Okay,
That's what I call it.
That's
Like
awesome.
low-key. But that's cool. That's really cool that you're bringing in other members, collaborating. Brian Howard is just like super smart. I'm going to give a shout out to him really quick. Every time I talk with him, and he's like very to the point, but like he knows what he's talking about, in crypto and like software
Oh my
engineer
gosh.
stuff. Like, I'm like, wow, this is pretty awesome. Y'all have known him for a little while too, huh?
Yep. Yeah.
He's insanely smart. I mean, just like any kind of problem that we have, it's like, oh, well, you can use this, or oh, there's a tool for this, or there's something you can do for this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I wish that I could just like get 10% of his knowledge and just like import it into my mind.
Sure.
Yeah, he's definitely a work smarter, not harder guy. I mean, he's got a solution to any problem that you could absolutely think of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then of course Bob with Flying Whippet Production.
Yeah. So thank you for mentioning that. I'm going to give a huge shout out to Bob.
So awesome.
With Flying Whippet Productions. For any of your live streaming needs, reach out to Bob with Flying Whippet Productions. He's been helping us with some of our live streams. We may even have him here in the studio eventually to help us get like, better camera setup, and like it absolutely embodies the hashtag be helpful, core value.
Yeah.
So always love to give a shout out to the ones that are helpful. So like typical Geekdom fashion, where like we have these big ideas and they're like, hey, we're going to do this Super Smash Bros. Tournament, but we want to stream it. Hey, Bob, you down? It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm there. And he's just like sets it up really quick and he does it. And like, yeah, so he's awesome. So super shout out.
Yeah, Bob is great. I love him.
Yeah, he's a knower of all things as well.
He's the knower of all things. Yeah, we had a whole like poll asking people whether or not or who. So if a zombie apocalypse happened and there was only 3 slots for people that you could bring, who would you bring? Everyone immediately said Bob first.
Number one.
Hands down. Bob is just like, you need to create a fire, like, and you're in the middle of the wood and you have no tools. He'll know how to do that. You need a live stream. He'll live stream it all. I mean, it's insane.
It seems like he's got a solution for just about anything you throw at him. So
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good. So y'all's name, StackIQ, came up in conversation a couple weeks back. Someone approached me and said, hey, look, I'm looking to get involved and, I want to give back. And y'all were the first people to come to mind. I was like, y'all just need to connect with StackIQ. I feel like whether it's like helping with an event or just like talking about, the startup experience, like get involved with them. And naturally you'll be involved with the rest of the community pretty soon. But do y'all have opportunities for people that are looking to just like experience like what the startup life is like? More so thinking about like code up, right? If there's a developer coming out like wants to help out with a website, is that something that you are open to, or like how can people be helpful with what it is that you're doing, I guess is my question.
Yeah, I mean, we're always open to help, to help, and then also for help. We are not the best at technology, so that's why we've always kind of gone to Brandon to like get the his advice,
Yeah.
but we're definitely always open to talking to anybody and receiving any help that anybody would want to give, and trying to like see how we can work with each other to build a better community. The community's already amazing, but how can we like elevate it? And I think one of the core things for the community fund is like how are you gonna help the community? And I think that's something so like significant and amazing that like no community I've ever been in like really like elevates. Like no community that I've been a part of elevates. Like, how are you going to make this community better? How are you going to like go above and beyond? And
Yeah. I like that. Appreciate you saying that too.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, we're a small team right now. And of course we want to be able to expand that, because, divide and conquer will go a long way with a lot of the tasks that we have at hand. But I mean, our door is always open for any help that we can get. And on the flip side, if there's anything that we can offer to provide and help, we 100% open to doing that.
Sweet. Well, we appreciate that too. You mentioned Pitch Fest. Can you talk a little bit about that for those that don't know?
Absolutely. Well, I'll kind of start it off and let you kind of explain it first. So, part of StackIQ is really kind of opening a lot of our students and users' eyes to a bunch of possibilities in the world, right? It's not so cut and dry for work, right? And Gabe had this amazing idea for our entrepreneur course, and it's Pitch Fest, and I'll let you take it from there. But I'm so excited about it. It's the passion that I have, and I know he's got some fire behind it too. But I'll let you explain that.
It's the whole idea of Pitch Fest is that you're given 6 slots. So the goal of StackIQ is we're going to have a whole bunch of different courses. You get to choose it. You get to choose what's going to be in your career closet. And so the goal would be is like, okay, you're learning all of these different skills that we're going to add this different element. We're going to gamify it, but like live gamify it by saying, okay, let's use like different elements of the courses you've done. Let's create a business and let's have you pitch, right? So kind of similar to like the applications for the community fund, you'll pitch a 3-minute video and we'll review it with our team. And then the team will select 6 individuals to be able to come to San Antonio and pitch their idea in front of the community at large. And then at the end, there's going to be some kind of a cash prize for them to say, hey, you did so good. Like, this is a really good idea. Use this money however you want it. Go, if you want to go to college and continue that education, great, do it. If you want to use this money and like try to like see if your business has traction and has like a space for or a need for it, then use that money for that. And so the goal of the Pitch Fest is really to like encourage entrepreneurship, build community within that space, and then try to like encourage individuals to show or encourage individuals to realize that success is not always realized in just one form, right? Like there's different forms that you can gain success at.
That's really cool. So do you have a time frame in mind or any way that I can be helpful with that?
Well, so we'll probably like 6 months after we like do a full launch, that's when we'll have enough individuals to be able to that have gone through the program and have taken the course and that might be gaining interest in wanting to do something like this. And that's when we'll do it. So probably 6 months after the program launches, that's when we'll start advertising for it. And then we'll go from there.
I mean, let me know how I can be helpful.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I know we 100% want to utilize everything, that Geekdom has to offer, the event center, and I mean, just everything. So we're really excited to be able to get a bunch of students and users and parents and bring them here and see what you guys are working on too, because, we understand that StackIQ, it is a 12-month program, right? At that 12 months, it's, we want you to take our app off, right? Like you've sparked passion, you're qualified, and now you're on that next step and next path. And part of, our sales pitch and our pitch in general is, the career closet, awesome. You're going to spark passion. That's awesome. But what's next, right? And that's where a lot of the competitors and the tech ed companies stop is you get the content delivery, but there's not much after that. There's no follow-up. There's no funnel. It's good luck. Thank you for your money. I hope you enjoyed our course and I hope you learned something, right? And on the StackIQ side, we say we're the beginning to end navigation and journey, right? So we want you to come in, you spark passion in something, but then what's next? That's where we come in. And that's part of bringing them here to Geekdom. Get a membership, right? Like take what your passion is, what you sparked interest in, and like let's get into a community that can really take that to the next step, because that's what Geekdom does. Like, no matter what stage that you're in, whether you're a business or you've just got a really, really cool skill and you don't really know what to do with it, get here to Geekdom, because there is somewhere that can be applied. And you get to utilize, what you love, you're good at it, and you've got some people that can place you into something pretty dang cool. Yeah, so that's what we're really excited about. We've been talking in the community fund application. It's like, how are you going to get back? What's the return on the investment for the community? And I think that's going to be a huge part of that, is being able to funnel and bring people here, get eyes on Geekdom, get eyes on the companies here at Geekdom, because companies want young, vetted, ambitious talent, right? You want somebody that's qualified to do the job, but also loves that job. That's what we want our users to be, so that we can place them there, right? You've got internships open. Awesome. I've got 10 or 15 guys to take a look at because they're good at it, right? So that's kind of like what we're really excited about.
Yeah, that's awesome stuff. I really like that. So I'm going to take a couple steps back, and I'm all over the place, people. This is, Philip usually does a great job at guiding the conversation. I'm like all over the place.
Yeah, it's all good.
For those that don't know, and you've hinted at it, you've talked about it, like, what's the elevator pitch for StackIQ? Like I said at the beginning, we've had y'all on before, but this was like version 0001. We've come a long way since then. For those that don't know, that are tuning in, give me the elevator pitch.
No, you
go ahead. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, no. So StackIQ is a 12-month program that is designed to act as a career closet for young adults, so that they can spark interest and passion in a certain form that is low cost and affordable, or low risk and affordable to you and your family. And that's like the very, very superficial elevator pitch. But the goal, that would be, I know that he has a different one, and I like his a lot better, but that's kind of like how I've explained it so far.
So, it's the technology we're building out is a web and mobile app. And again, it does serve as a career closet. So rather than, jumping straight into college and being forced into a major or going into undecided, StackIQ serves as that career closet where it is just a ton of industries, a ton of different careers, a ton of different skill sets. You try on what piques your interest most, right? So rather than spending years on something that you just didn't like, or tons of money on a bunch of courses that just didn't like suit you, we've developed a subscription model that allows you to try things on, and you see what sticks, and then if it doesn't stick, no worries, you're on to the next. And then at the end of the day, we've got those partnerships with all these companies where spark passion, and then we're going to funnel you into what's next in your journey. So low risk, low cost, utilizing technology, building a community around our app. I think that we're going to be solving a lot of problems for a lot of young adults that want to do something useful and something that they love, and I think that we can do that, and we're on a mission to do that.
Yeah, thank you, by the way, both of you. It can be scary. And I think it's scary for both the parents and for, the students that are like entering into the world.
Yeah.
Just like a personal experience, I didn't know what I wanted to do, right? When I got out of school, but really, like, it was intimidating. Like, I had so many passions in like music and art, and like, but do I want to take a leap of faith and try these things? Like, do I want to go to school and be formally taught, or do I want to just like get some experience? But I was also wanting to get into tech, right? Like, do I want to be a software developer? Like, but it seemed like there was one option, and there wasn't that. I mean, there isn't a career closet until now, which is great. And when you say that, it's like, because you can try these different things on, find the one you like, and not have to spend like a shit ton of money.
It's true. French. No, yeah. I mean, we understand that at 18, you're having to make what could be a $50,000 to $100,000 decision, right? You're 18 years old. Are you equipped to make that decision? I was not. And yeah, you said it perfect. Like, parents are scared, man. People are scared. Like, it's a scary, scary next step out of high school. And that's why we're here. We want to make those decisions. Like, we want to help you make that with confidence.
I was looking back at my time in college, and I switched my major 3 times. And so I was looking at all of the like the courses that I took for the different majors that I didn't major in, and calculating it up, it was roughly around $30,000 that went to classes that I no longer using.
That's crazy.
And it is crazy, but what's crazier is that there are places out there that are giving me $30,000 at 18 years old to take God knows what class.
Yeah.
And it's one that's an intimidating number to think of. Just 30,000. That's just an aspect or a portion of the whole. And so yeah, like it's really sad to think that people are just pushing all of these loans out, and individuals coming in and getting the loans aren't equipped with the knowledge to get a loan like this.
Yeah.
They don't like the interest rate I mean, it's crazy high.
And part of that on the loan thing is though, is like part of that is that you think that you're going to have a return on that investment when you graduate, right? Sure. Okay. I'll take $30, $40, $50,000. I'm going to get an amazing job out of college, right? It's going to happen. I'll be able to pay those loans off. No problem. That's just not the case.
Yeah.
It's just not the case.
It's not guaranteed.
It's
and that
not,
like rarely happens that way.
Yeah. It's rough.
And
so we want to make sure that we're disrupting that little part.
Which is where #adulting comes in.
Yes.
Hey, tell me about it.
Yeah. Our #adulting is all things adulting, things we should have learned. Like how to calculate a budget, right? You want to live on your own? Great. Let's calculate a budget. Can you live off of $12 an hour, right? If you want to live on your own, what can you do with $12 an hour? What's feasible for you, right? Okay, you want to get a car? Let's look at the car insurance. Let's look at car maintenance. Let's look at all of the things that you don't think of, but you want it. Like I wanted a car, and I was like, okay, my first car is going to be a used car. Great. So I got a used car, and it was lemon. I mean, like I had to spend over like $5,000 within the first year just to fix like the AC and the transmission. It was insane. But I was like, oh, it's a good deal. I got a car. It's great. I'm going to be able to drive it around. Well, 2 years later, I had to get a new car.
It's so funny because we did some market research over at Playland, and we were talking to some of the waitresses and some of the servers. And we were like, okay, like how old are you? 19 years old. Awesome. You're in school. And we were just kind of saying, coming out of high school, what did you get punched in the mouth with? And the car apparently is like a thing that these kids just don't realize how expensive it is. He was like, okay, yeah, like I got a cool car. I work, I can cover the car payment, but a tire popped. I didn't know that it was $140 for a tire. And he was like, I didn't know that an oil change is, $80 to $120, and it's like just nonstop. And yeah, we want to be like, all right, look, you're becoming an adult. Like these are the things you really need to know. Right. Yeah. This is what you need to expect going into this stuff. Interest rates, credit cards, all insurance, W-2s, 1099s, the differences between those two. Like how to negotiate your salary. Right. I mean, there's different things that these kids like you need to be equipped with a bunch of tools to like be a solid adult going into the workforce.
And the goal of it is to gamify adulting, because reading up on all of these topics is boring. Like, I mean, we sat down and we started like trying to do the research on all of the different adulting topics that we want to like put on our platform. And we were just like, oh my God, now I know why like no one teaches it. It's boring. It's not fun to read about interest rates. It's not fun to read about financial institutions and the different like things that they can give you. It's boring stuff.
Yeah.
It's dull. And so what we want to do is we want to gamify it. We want to make it to where we're showing them what they want, and then we're showing them how to get it. So like, you want a car? Great. Let's start at the very beginning. What's your credit score? Right. All right. Now let's go ahead and figure out, okay, you want this kind of a car. You want a Jeep. Let's look at all of the things that typically happens with Jeeps, right? Like how much do you spend on a Jeep? Like the goal is to like show them what they want, and let's like work towards it. Let's not just leap in and get it.
Yeah.
Elon Musk said something amazing. And he was like, if someone gives you $30,000 right now, are you going to go and get a $30,000 car? You're not going to get a $30,000. You don't want to lose all of that $30,000. So a person who's making $30,000 a year, why are you going to go and get a $35,000, $40,000 car?
Yeah.
It does not make sense. You're giving into the loans, you're giving into the interest, and you're just going to be spending so much more money than you could have had you just thought of all of the different aspects of buying a car.
Yeah. Or understanding like I like the car example and scenario because like you said, everyone needs one at some point.
Yeah.
And for me going into buying a car, I didn't have a credit at all. I was like 18 when I went and bought it, or however old I was. And like committing to something for 5 years, like it couldn't comprehend that in my mind that like, yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. And I think that people listening to this right now, if they're parents, or not even just that, anyone. It's like, damn, why didn't they teach me that in high school? And it's like a meme at this point.
Yeah.
People are like, why didn't they teach me about credit or like how to do my taxes or whatever? And in high school, realistically, that's probably not the best like avenue to learn that stuff. But now there's a good one, right? But now there's something like that people like parents can say, hey, like there's this cool thing.
Yeah.
You're reaching, you know, students and young adults where they are, which is through social media.
Yeah.
Hey, like check this stuff out. And like I think eventually, and like if you do it in a way where it's like, hey, I know you want that Harley Davidson, you know, like motorcycle, I know you want that Camaro or whatever it is, that Jeep. Realistically, here's what it's gonna take to get it. So
yeah, but that will light the fire under these people too, right? If you lay out, okay, look, this is what you want, this is what you need to make that happen, and you know, and like piece out a game plan together too. Like that's really cool.
yeah, like and then gamifying it is also really cool. I like how you said that.
Yeah, we're gonna do it like all of our adulting is gonna, like, the initial teaching is gonna be through text message with the direct link back to the LMS where they'll be able to like actually go through the steps more thoroughly. We want to meet them where they're at. We know that it's going to be hard to get an 18-year-old. It might be hard to get a 28, 29-year-old to get onto an app and learn about adulting, but we know that they have their phones. We know that it's there, and we know that they're going to feel the vibration in their pocket when they get that notification, right? We're going to meet them there, and then we're going to like entice them to go and visit the app. Like, let's go learn more. Like, we'll give you all of the resources you need to like help you land the dream car that you want. You just have to follow these steps really quickly.
Yeah. I think that there's companies like Credit Karma that do like a pretty decent job at doing that, but it's all through email. And like, that's when I'm looking at my email, I'm not going to jump in to like read a whole blog, or like, I'm not going to click the link to go to their website to learn more. But if it's like popped up on my phone, or if it's like in a different format, if it's in a video, which now TikTok videos can be like 4 minutes, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I'm wondering, StackIQ entering into the 2021 pre-accelerator program, StackIQ exiting out of the program. How different is StackIQ now? Is it like night and day? Is it still the same general idea? Just you're talking about it better? Like, was there a pivot? Like, I would love to know about that.
Well, I think at the core of it all, we're the same. We knew going into the pre-accelerator program who we are. And what's hard about the pre-accelerator program for anyone who's wanting to join is that going through it, you have all of these amazing mentors telling you all of these different things. And so you're like, you want to pivot in all of those different directions. If you join a pre-accelerator program, just remember going in there and understanding who you are, what your company is, and what you like, what are your non-negotiables? What are you not willing to negotiate on for the company? And so I think at the core of who we are now versus who we are then, it's the same. But I think there are a lot of different little aspects. Like the adulting course was going to just be a course. But through the pre-accelerator program, we realized, okay, like after talking to a bunch of different individuals, like very similar like comments were made about like meeting them where they're at. Like, let's find them where they're at. And we realized, okay, well, the phone is where they're at. The courses, we were going to have just 6 courses, only 6 courses. But we realized, well, why are we going to just limit ourselves? We want to have a whole like closet full of courses that you can try on. And that way you have the ability to kind of like decide the 6 courses that you want.
Yeah. I would say the biggest change that we had was we're thinking so much bigger now than where we were. Before the pre-accelerator program, we were really kind of just had this bubble of a market and this general idea of how we wanted to sell this thing and who we wanted this to be for. And, you know, through this pre-accelerator program, shout out Dax Moreno. My gosh, this guy, super smart. If anybody ever has a question about your company or anything, that is the guy to go to. But Dax, I mean, we had an opportunity. We had, how long is it? 30 minutes with a mentor, 30 minutes with Dax. And it changed our entire outlook on how we were going to take this thing to market. You know, and he got us to, he was like, look, y'all need to think so much bigger because there's so many people that could utilize this. So the grand vision of StackIQ completely changed throughout the pre-accelerator program. And that was really, really cool because it's like, I mean, you keep lighting this fire under us. And I mean, yeah, we we have a passion for StackIQ, but when other people can kind of come in, take a look and be like, okay, like it, love it, but you are thinking too small, think bigger, right? And then it's just like gives you chills. Like you're like, okay, somebody sees something in us. Like that was really cool. I think that our confidence of who we are as, you know, founders and who we are of StackIQ being in that pre-accelerator program changed everything, right? And then, you know, we're in cohorts with somebody like freaking Birdie, who is just like an amazing human being. Pretty simple, you know, e-ventures, curate. I mean, we were around some incredible people, and like us as people grew, our confidence grew, our hearts grew. And yeah, we're just like, we just feel like we're a well-oiled machine now to take on everything that's to come. And that's what the pre-accelerator was able to do for us, because we weren't confident enough in the idea, confident enough in our business plan or model, or confident enough in ourselves and what we were doing to really like keep going. And being in that program with the mentors and the cohort and you and everybody, yeah, we're ready to take on the world and really make this thing happen.
Yeah, I love that.
That's amazing. It's so fun.
Talk about goosebumps.
I know,
man.
And it all
We
started,
get it every day walking in, man.
It all started with Becky.
Hey,
You know,
It's me.
There it
because
is.
she, and again, I'll always say the story. As soon as I walked in, I saw her smiling face. Becky.
It's me.
Oh, come on, John.
Sorry.
Okay, Becky.
It's me.
There we go. I like Becky.
It's me.
Just kidding. And so, yeah. So it's crazy. It also it just all like leads. Like it, I like oftentimes like to look back on like the different decisions we made, and how like one little decision impacted so many different like things that have happened. And walking through the Geekdom doors for me the second time was like, I think one of the best decisions we ever made.
It was.
It all started with Becky's
It's me.
smile, leading to John's tour, leading to meeting everybody in the Geekdom staff, and just like having that support. I think having the support of the community is great, but having the support of the staff is insane. Because like it's a united front. It's like a whole like wall of individuals like ready to like throw their support at you, and like offering you so many resources and the different paths that you can take. It's really cool to experience that.
Yeah, I think Geekdom takes it one or two steps, many steps further than just the support side for me. It's like you guys invest in the people that are here, man. And that, like, as a founder and a business owner and people that, like, as a member, man, seeing you guys just really take everybody, you know, under your wing, and just whatever you need, like, be helpful. We are here to be helpful. Like, yes, we'll support, but we'll invest in you, like, in any way that we can, whether that's, you know, programs, or here's some guys that could probably help you with this thing, or get you on the podcast, talk about what you guys do. Like, you guys, it's so much more than just support, man. You guys invest in the people that are here. And man, anybody that's listening, man, it really is, dude. Like, it gives us chills talking about you guys. And like, I go home and I'm like, I've had a great day every day. Like, it's always a great day because you guys make that happen here. It's pretty cool.
Oh man, I appreciate you saying that.
Oh,
And that goes out to all of the Geekdom staff, the Geekdom community. I mean, I feel the same way. I feel like having the support of the community as well is cool, and just being able to have these conversations, it's inspiring. It's super rad. So, and being able to have some sort of part in like the grand story that, you know, is StackIQ, and like I know y'all are gonna do big things. I see it already.
Thank you.
I feel it, you know, and just to say like, dang, I sat in a podcast studio a couple of times with those, you know, those fellas, you know, it was awesome. So continue the great work. I want to be mindful of time. We have about 5 more minutes left before we wrap it up. Philip asks a great question at the end as we wrap up every episode, and it's essentially, if you had advice for yourself, he'll typically go back a couple of years and like, what would you tell yourself then that you know now? What would you, on that, okay, I guess like when you were forming it, knowing everything you know now, what advice would you give yourself when you were first starting StackIQ?
That is a good question. I think,
Because it hasn't been that long.
yeah, I think that for me, oh man, that's a good question.
Get to Geekdom sooner.
Hey,
Yeah, of course. Gosh, there's so many things that I do wish I would have known. I think one of the biggest ones is just like just be open and being receptive and being willing to transform an idea into something that you might not think is um what's the word, how do I say it, the CEO of the company that I work for always says, be willing to give up your Legos, right? If you have this amazing idea and you've been working on it, be willing to give it up to someone who's gonna be able to like actually like run with it and devote more time to it than you would. And kind of like jumping off of that, it's like be willing to like fall in love with the solution, not the problem.
Yeah.
I fall in love with the problem, not the
Not the
solution.
solution. Yeah. Is that a
And
Dax saying
so-
too?
No, that's Philip. Philip
Hey,
always said that.
oh, hey, shout out to our boy.
Yeah, but no, it's like I fell into the trap of like falling in love with the solution that I created. And it was so difficult for me to like be open to people saying like that's not the best idea, like you should go this route. I think that's the biggest advice for me. It's like be open and
Yeah.
and don't fall in love with the thing that you've created. Like
Yeah.
be willing for that thing to be changed and formed and transformed into something that could be potentially better than that.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna mirror that. Having a little bit more of an open mind going into business, and I'll kind of explain really fast. When I was an undergrad at Texas State, I started a company called Bad Habits. Owned and operated for 3.5 years. It was an awesome experience, but the biggest lesson that I had back then was pick your business partners wisely. So coming into the idea of StackIQ and being a business owner with somebody else and having a partner scared the hell out of me, because Bad Habits was tough. Like it was, 22, 23 years old and you're bit off a lot. And I chose friends, but I didn't choose hungry people. So coming into that, I didn't have an open mind when we had our friendship and we had an open mind on our friendship and had an amazing friendship. But when we started talking business and being partners and starting a company together, I didn't have that much of an open mind, because I had some PTSD and I just, it's like, no, like this is how we're doing it. This is, and being with Gabe and kind of like understanding how he thinks, it helped that a lot and like helped me open my mind a lot. But yeah, I think it would just be being a little bit more open and listen and not, be so stuck in your ways. Yeah, that would be, yeah, I guess like my biggest advice to myself is just chill out.
Hashtag
out, you-
best friend founders.
Dang.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say hashtag founder fights. We got to bring it.
Founder fights.
No, John.
Founder
No.
fights.
I was gonna bring that up. I got the TikTok. Follow us on Founder Fights on TikTok.
Right, that's right.
I got the TikTok. I'm ready. Hey, I'm calling out Charles and Philip. Y'all want to be the first ones?
Dang.
It's gonna be all fun fights, not
Yeah.
bad fights.
Well, I think it's
Amanda wanted all the bad
Oh my
fights.
God.
Just kidding, Amanda. I
Shout
love
out
you.
Amanda. That's so funny. We were dying laughing when we were talking about this. Well, thank you all so much. I feel like you guys are always like open books and like always willing to share. These conversations help me, but they help the community as well. So like anyone listening in, they said it before, open door. If you see them on the 7th floor, come by, say hi. But yeah, with that being said, how do people learn more about StackIQ? How do they follow you?
Ooh, StackIQ or at stack_IQ. No, wait, what's our handle?
Stack. There we
Stack.IQ.
go.
At stack.IQ. Thank you.
Yeah, I got you.
At stack.IQ, www.stackiq.co. And then we're going to be creating a TikTok channel, so keep an eye on that.
I love it. Love it. Love it. Anything
Yeah.
to end with?
If anybody would like to help us with our website, that's kind of like what we're on right now. So if anybody wants to kind of get into the entrepreneurial startup world, we've got some space for you to come in and kind of help us there.
I love it. Appreciate you guys.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
See y'all next week.
Bye.